Now, there is another form of quadratic expression, and this form is ax squared minus c. All right, this form of quadratic expression is it comes in two ways. All right, it comes in two ways, but we are going to look at it in different ways, or different ways. So if you have an example, you're given an expression of this form: 2x squared minus 4 minus 4, and you're asked to factorize. This is very simple. What is, yeah? You notice that you have 2 is common. So you have 2x squared divided by 2 minus 4 divided by 2. And then you have, what you have here is x squared minus 2. For this particular expression, there's nothing you can do again. This ends. All right, you may also be given this is 1. You may also be given an expression of this form. How about you're given an expression of this form? Minus 4. Okay? Now, when this expression is of this form, what you look at is the first term here, the first term, and the last term. Listen, you'll notice that this 4 is a perfect square. That is 4 will equals 2 times 2, and that is 2 raised to the power of 2. So the first term here is also a perfect square, and this other one is a perfect square. So we'll show you the short way of factorizing this. Now, whenever you have difference of squares, all right, whenever you have difference of squares, there is this rules that if I have a square minus b square, I'm asked to factorize, it is what? The sum, the product of the sum and the difference. The product of the sum, all right, and the difference. You have this is a perfect, a square, this is a square, and then you are asked for the difference of two squares. So you find the sum of the base and then multiply by the difference of the base. You get the what? The factors of that expression. So when expression is given to you like that, that is what you do. And so meaning that for this question, we are going to have x squared to be equals a x plus 2 and x minus 2. All right, if you are factorizing. Okay, now what if you want to do it in the conventional way? You have x squared minus 4 and you are asked to factorize. The first thing you do is, normally you're supposed to say multiply x squared by minus 4, okay, such that you have minus 4x squared. That is x squared times minus 4 to give you minus 4x squared. And now we say something about the whenever the last term is negative or the constant term is negative. Whenever the constant term is negative, it said that the two factors we have to look for, one will be positive and the other will be negative. So if the middle term is not given, in this case, in this expression, there is no middle term, means that the middle term is 0. It means that the two factors are equal and opposite. That is, they are the same, but the sign are different. If what I mean by the same is that the factors, if it is 2, both factors are 2. If it is 3, both are 3. But you remember that whenever we have the last term to be negative, one will be positive, one will be negative. So they become additive inverse of each other. So additive inverse, what we mean by additive inverse is two numbers that add to what? 0. Two numbers that add up to 0. So meaning that each time you add up the two factors, it will always give you 0. So because of that, they are what additive inverse of each other. So if you have to find two factors whose sum is zero, all right? See now, sum is zero. So you are going to have factors of minus 4x squared, factors of minus 4x squared, and sum of factors. So what you will have here is, if you are taking maybe x and for x, you're going to have one will be positive, one will be negative. So in this case, we cannot tell which one will be negative, which one will be positive. All right, so what we do is that we are going to repeat the same thing. We're going to repeat it, then interchange the sign. All right, so you remember that we consider which one will be positive among the factors if the middle term is positive or negative. So it depends. The factor that will carry the negative sign depends on the what? The middle terms, if the middle term is positive or negative. So in this case, we cannot tell because it's just zero, all right? So in this, you will have here to be minus 3x and here will be plus 3x. And remember, in this particular one, whenever the middle term is negative, is zero like this, the two factors will be the same magnitude. So already you know that this will not give you what you want. So if you take plus 2 and minus 2, since they're already the same, even if you write plus 2 and minus 2 again, it's still the same thing. So actually this one will give you 0. So the two factors are what? Plus 2x and minus 2x. So you replace in the original expression, you replace 0, all right, with plus 2x and minus 2x. So you have x squared plus 2x minus 2x minus 4. So you factorize into, when you factorize into, x here is positive, x here is common, x here is common, you have x plus 2, and minus 2 is common, you have x plus 2. So you will have that x plus 2 is common, so we create another bracket for the coefficient of the word of the bracket. So this is what we get. So this was very simple, but this is the conventional approach to factorizing such an expression. So if you come across such an expression, you don't need to panic to factorize it this way. Now, what if you are given this other expression? You are given an expression, this other one, maybe 4x squared minus 9. It's still very simple. What you will notice that this 4 is a perfect square and this 9 is also a perfect square. So an x squared is a perfect square. So you are having a 2x all square minus 3 all square. So using these rules, we are just going to say that it is sum of the base, the product of the sum of the base and the what? The difference. Sum of the base and the difference gives us the factors. Simple as that. So here, what we place our a here, this is like a, this is like our b. So if you use that rule, you get the factor for that particular expression. All right. What if you are having an expression of this form? 25 x squared minus 9 a squared. Very simple too. So if you're having this kind of expression, what you still do is you notice that 25 is a perfect square and 9 is a perfect square. So what you have is 5x all square minus 3a all square. So using that rules, you have the sum and the difference. So you have factorized that expression. You have finally factorized that expression. It's as simple as that.